Hi friends, hi family. Happy February. It's pretty crazy that it's February because January just flew by. It was a crazy but incredible month. I got to start my full-time job with Varsity and Chi Alpha, and there was a lot of big events like the SALT conference, which was, oh my goodness, like the best weekend of my entire life. It was so much fun, and my dad got to come up for it, which was great to have him. And then last Friday we had a big worship night for all the on-campus ministries. Yeah, the month was very full, which was a blessing because when I first started my job with Varsity at the beginning of the month, I realized that it's very untraditional in that I'm a missionary and a missionary for a church plant nonetheless. And so we don't have our own church buildings, we don't have church offices, so I do a lot of my work from home. And the only recurring thing in my schedule is our staff meetings on Monday mornings, and the rest of the week is kind of up in the air. And so I was looking at my schedule and just felt discouraged at first because it was like, what am I supposed to fill my days with, Jesus? But he answered that prayer in some big ways, and I even have my journal right here, January 4th, just asking the Lord, I need you to provide because you are faithful, just regarding my finances. Now that this is my full-time gig and I have to raise support for a living, finances are a big deal, and God's provision is something that I'm constantly asking for. And then secondly, my time is yours, help me to use it well. May I see the open space in my schedule not as a discouragement because of lack of purpose, but as an encouragement because of the abundance of opportunity. And the Lord did that. He gave me an abundance of opportunity this month. So, oh yeah, it was good. But I do feel like our church is entering a very new season, and a lot of that has to do with our growth, which is a good problem to have. But we have outgrown the space that we're currently meeting in, which is a bummer because of the location that the church that we were at was so convenient. It was literally right across the street from Superblock, which is what we call the four main freshman dorms at the University of Minnesota. And so the commute for these freshmen was actually 30 seconds. And so it's a bummer that we're having to move on to a different place because you can't beat that kind of convenience. So if you could just be praying with us that we would find a location that's still convenient and nearby for the students, as well as one that's functional and suits us well. If you could join us in prayer for that, that would be great. Secondly, if you could be praying over Pastor John Michael, the pastor of Varsity and Chi Alpha, and his wife Becky. They just had a little baby girl and she's precious. But please be praying strength over them. They not only have the weight of a church to take care of, but now the weight of a baby. And so prayers for them would be awesome. We love them so much. Thirdly, if you could pray over my worship team. We've had a lot of people these last couple weeks have to step down because they got a job somewhere else or they're transferring schools, and so it's a bummer that we lost a lot of great musicians, but prayers that the Lord would raise up new ones and wisdom for me as I recruit and seek out people to replace the ones that we lost. That would be great if you could join me in prayer for that. And then lastly, we are starting what we call our leadership journey, which is super exciting. It's where we start to raise up next year's small group leaders, and it's a big deal to be a small group leader, and so prayers that we would be wise in who we choose, and that the people that we start to raise up and pour into would be people that love the ministry and love these students, and they're willing to pray and pour everything they have into those who they are leading. If you could pray that we find quality leaders, that would be wonderful. So thank you for all your prayers. Thank you for your words of encouragement as I've adjusted into this new season of life. It's so good to know that I'm not alone, but I have an awesome team behind me. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys next month.